NEC Article 110.26. A1 states that in wet locations, electrical equipment shall be enclosed in a waterproof case or otherwise protected from the weather. This is a fundamental safety requirement designed to prevent electrical hazards in environments where moisture is present. This section of the code mandates that any electrical equipment installed in a wet location must be adequately protected against water ingress. This protection can be achieved through the use of waterproof enclosures or by other means that ensure the equipment is shielded from the detrimental effects of moisture. The primary concern is to prevent water from coming into contact with live electrical components, which could lead to short circuits, electrical shocks, and other dangerous situations. This requirement applies broadly to all types of electrical equipment, including distribution panels, circuit breakers, and wiring devices. The term wet location is specifically defined in the NEC and typically includes areas subject to saturation with water or other liquids, such as outdoor locations exposed to the weather, car washes, and certain industrial facilities. Compliance with NEC Article 110.26. A1 is essential for ensuring the safety and reliability of electrical installations in wet environments. Now, regarding the installation of a distribution panel in a location that may become a bathroom in the future, the NEC does not specifically address this scenario. However, several general guidelines and best practices can be applied to ensure safety and code compliance. NEC Article 210.11. C1 states that dwelling units shall have at least one panel board or other distribution center located in a readily accessible location near the service entrance. This requirement aims to provide convenient access to the electrical panel for maintenance, repairs, and troubleshooting. The panel should be situated in a location that is easily reachable without requiring the use of tools or ladders. A readily accessible location also facilitates quick disconnection of power in emergency situations. The service entrance is typically the point where electrical power enters the building from the utility supply. Placing the distribution panel near the service entrance minimizes the length of the main feeder conductors and simplifies the overall electrical system layout. NEC Article 210.11. C3 states that the panel board or distribution center shall be installed so that it is not exposed to moisture or physical damage. This provision emphasizes the importance of protecting the electrical panel from environmental factors that could compromise its performance and safety. Moisture can lead to corrosion, short circuits, and other electrical hazards. Physical damage can result from impacts, vibrations, or other mechanical stresses. The panel should be installed in a location that is dry, well ventilated, and free from potential sources of damage. If the panel is located in an area where moisture or physical damage is a concern, additional protective measures may be necessary, such as installing the panel in a waterproof enclosure or providing physical barriers to prevent impacts. Based on these NEC articles, it is generally not recommended to install a distribution panel in a location that may become a bathroom in the future. Bathrooms are considered wet locations due to the presence of water sources such as sinks, showers, and bathtubs. Installing an electrical panel in a bathroom increases the risk of electrical hazards and code violations. However, if it is necessary to install a distribution panel in a location that may become a bathroom in the future, the following precautions should be taken. Firstly, ensure that the panel is enclosed in a waterproof case or otherwise protected from moisture. This is the most critical step in preventing electrical hazards in a wet environment. A waterproof enclosure will prevent water from coming into contact with the electrical components inside the panel, reducing the risk of short circuits, corrosion, and electrical shocks. The enclosure should be rated for the specific environmental conditions of the location. Secondly, install the panel in a location that is not likely to be exposed to water, such as a high location on a wall. This will minimize the risk of water splashing on the panel or coming into contact with it during normal bathroom activities. The panel should be installed at a height that is above the reach of water spray from showers or sinks. Thirdly, consider installing a sub-panel in the bathroom, with the main distribution panel located outside of the bathroom. This approach allows you to provide electrical power to the bathroom without having to install the main distribution panel in a wet location. A sub-panel is a smaller electrical panel that is fed from the main distribution panel. It can be used to supply power to circuits within the bathroom, such as lighting, outlets, and exhaust fans. By locating the main distribution panel outside of the bathroom, you can reduce the risk of electrical hazards and code violations. Now let's talk about branch circuits required within bathrooms. In dwelling units, NEC Article 210.11, C3 requires at least one 20-amp branch circuit to supply bathroom receptacle outlets. This requirement is in place to ensure that bathrooms have sufficient electrical capacity to power the various appliances and devices that are commonly used in these areas, such as hair dryers, curling irons, and electric shavers. A 20-amp circuit is capable of handling a higher electrical load than a standard 15-amp circuit, which reduces the risk of overloading the circuit and tripping the circuit breaker. This is particularly important in bathrooms, where multiple high-wattage appliances may be used simultaneously. The 20-amp circuit must supply only the receptacle outlets in the bathroom, and it cannot be used to supply other loads such as lighting or exhaust fans. This is to ensure that the circuit has sufficient capacity to handle the receptacle outlets without being overloaded. The requirement for a dedicated 20-amp circuit for bathroom receptacle outlets applies to all dwelling units, including single-family homes, apartments, and condominiums. It is an important safety measure that helps to prevent electrical hazards and ensure that bathrooms have adequate electrical capacity. NEC Article 210.8 A1 specifies ground fault circuit interrupter or GFCI protection for receptacles in bathrooms. All 125-volt, 15-amp and 20-amp receptacles installed in bathrooms must have GFCI protection. This requirement is intended to protect people from electrical shock hazards in wet locations. A GFCI is a device that monitors the flow of electricity in a circuit and detects any imbalances that may indicate a ground fault. A ground fault occurs when electricity flows through an unintended path to ground, such as through a person's body. If a GFCI detects a ground fault, it will quickly trip the circuit and cut off the flow of electricity, preventing a potentially fatal electrical shock. Bathrooms are considered wet locations due to the presence of water sources such as sinks, showers, and bathtubs. The risk of electrical shock is higher in wet locations because water can conduct electricity and increase the likelihood of a ground fault. The requirement for GFCI protection applies to all receptacles in bathrooms, including those located near sinks, showers, and bathtubs. It also applies to receptacles that are installed behind mirrors or cabinets. It is important to note that GFCI protection is not a substitute for proper grounding. All electrical circuits must be properly grounded in accordance with the NEC. GFCI protection is an additional safety measure that provides an extra layer of protection against electrical shock hazards. NEC Article 404.8 addresses switches installed in wet locations. Switches installed in wet or damp locations must be enclosed in weatherproof enclosures. This requirement is in place to protect the switches from moisture and corrosion, which can lead to electrical hazards. Wet locations are defined as areas that are subject to saturation with water or other liquids, such as outdoor locations exposed to the weather, car washes, and certain industrial facilities. Damp locations are defined as areas that are partially protected from the weather and are subject to moderate degrees of moisture, such as covered porches, basements, and barns. Weatherproof enclosures are designed to prevent water from entering the enclosure and coming into contact with the electrical components inside. These enclosures are typically made of metal or plastic and have gaskets or other sealing mechanisms to prevent water ingress. The requirement for a weatherproof enclosures applies to all switches installed in wet or damp locations, including those used to control lighting, fans, and other electrical equipment. It is important to note that weatherproof enclosures are not the same as waterproof enclosures. Waterproof enclosures are designed to prevent water from entering the enclosure even when it is submerged in water. Weatherproof enclosures are designed to protect against rain, snow, and other forms of precipitation, but they may not be completely waterproof. Now let's discuss clearances around electrical equipment. NEC Article 110.26 specifies the working space about electrical equipment. This section of the NEC establishes minimum clearances and working spaces around electrical equipment to ensure the safety of electricians and other qualified personnel who may need to work on the equipment. The working space requirements vary depending on the voltage of the equipment, the location of the equipment, and the presence of any obstructions. In general, the working space must be large enough to allow electricians to safely access the equipment for inspection, maintenance, and repairs. The working space must also be clear of any obstructions that could impede access to the equipment or create a safety hazard. NEC Article 110.26 specifies the depth of working space. The depth of the working space in front of electrical equipment must be at least 3 feet, and in some cases, it may need to be even greater. The required depth depends on the voltage of the equipment and the presence of any exposed live parts. The depth of the working space must be measured from the front of the equipment to the nearest obstruction, such as a wall, a ceiling, or another piece of equipment. NEC Article 110.26 B specifies the width of working space. The width of the working space in front of electrical equipment must be at least 30 inches, or the width of the equipment, whichever is greater. The width of the working space must be measured horizontally, and it must be clear of any obstructions. NEC Article 110.26 C specifies the height of working space. The height of the working space in front of electrical equipment must be at least 6 feet 6 inches, or the height of the equipment, whichever is greater. The height of the working space must be measured vertically, and it must be clear of any obstructions. NEC Article 110.26 E specifies entrance to and egress from working space. Entrances to and egress from the working space must be provided in accordance with the NEC. This means that there must be a clear and unobstructed path to and from the working space. The entrance and egress must be large enough to allow electricians to safely enter and exit the working space with their tools and equipment. NEC Article 110.26 F specifies illumination requirements. Adequate illumination must be provided in the working space around electrical equipment. This is to ensure that electricians can safely see what they are doing and avoid making mistakes. The illumination must be sufficient to allow electricians to read the equipment labels and to identify any potential hazards. NEC Article 110.26 D specifies access and working space. Access and working space must be maintained at all times. This means that the working space cannot be used for storage or for any other purpose that would obstruct access to the equipment. The working space must be kept clear of any debris or other materials that could create a safety hazard. In summary, when installing a distribution panel in a location that may become a bathroom, remember to prioritize safety and code compliance. Ensure the panel is protected from moisture, located in an accessible area, and meets all clearance requirements. Considering a sub-panel for the bathroom and adhering to GFCI protection guidelines are crucial steps. Always consult the latest edition of the NEC and local electrical codes for specific requirements, and consult with a qualified electrician to ensure a safe and compliant installation.